my loves, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be talking about every single book I read in under 24 hours. So some really bingeable reads, some great book recs if you need to get out of a book slump, really fast-paced, easy reads that pretty much anyone can read. The first two books I have to recommend are YA thrillers, so young adult thrillers. They're usually just really fast-paced, easy reads. Always good if I'm going into a book slump. I always pick up a YA thriller. The first one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This is a kind of murder mystery thriller. We are following a really bright student who goes to a boarding school, and is a kind of famous boarding school known to only accept very bright students or students with very particular skills. Our protagonist gets in and she is determined to solve a cold case that happened at this school, I believe like 20 odd years ago. It is fast paced, it is engaging, there is a little line of romance in there as well. It's just got everything you need to binge. This is also a 3-book series, and then there are a few spin-off books. Just so easy to read, and I sped through it. I could not put it down. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. And just Johnson's writing is just so easy to binge. Like, it kind of just flows. It feels like you're watching a movie, honestly. I love this book, and I also gave it a 4 stars. So that's not always the case when you read a book fast, but I loved it, and I did continue the trilogy, and it's one of my favorite trilogies. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is again a YA thriller trilogy. I'm sure you all know it. I won't talk too much on it, but basically we are following our protagonist Pip, and she is also trying to solve a cold case, but only from a few years ago. She kind of starts to look into it as a project for school, but it gets a lot deeper than that. She realizes how much is unsolved and how much she could bring to light, and just our characters in this are so good. I think I read this on a flight and I literally couldn't put it down, and I had to like go searching when I got to my holiday destination for the next book in the series, because that's how good it was. This has been on your TBR for a long time. Just pick it up. I guarantee you will speed through it. Holly Jackson has such an addictive way of writing that really just immerses you so quickly and gets you so attached to the characters, like instantly. Mile High by Liz Tomford. This is the first book in a sports billionaire romance series, and typically I'm not really like a massive romance fan. Usually I read romance books when I'm just kind of need something quick and easy, but I don't usually binge them. This one though was an exception. Something about Liz Tomford and the way she develops characters, I could not put this book down, and it's a bit of a lengthier book. I think it's about 400 or 500 pages, and something about this series. I will say the series gets like significantly better as it goes on. There are 3 books out at the moment. I loved all of them. Amazing series. Basically in Mile High we are following a hockey team and an air hostess that's on their kind of private jet. There's a bit of forced proximity, enemies to lovers. It's amazing, and as I said, billionaire romances. If you're into them, you'll literally love this series. I highly recommend it. Another romance I sped through is by Christina Lauren. This is The Soulmate Equation. Christina Lauren, amazing books, amazing writing, so easy to read. In this book, our protagonist is kind of partaking in this test for a new kind of matchmaking service that uses your actual genetics. It is an enemies to lovers, kind of forced proximity type situation, and a fake dating. It is so good. Really easy to read. It's about 350 pages, really quick, simple read. If you're going on a holiday or need like a quick romance read, I highly recommend this one. I gave this one a 4 stars as well. All of these have pretty damn high ratings from me, honestly. It was just so much fun, and like I couldn't put it down, and I love the characters. Christina Lauren just gets it every single time. I haven't read a book that I haven't loved. Crave by Tracy Wolff. If you're a Twilight girly and suffering from Twilight withdrawals like I was when I read this book, pick up Crave. Honestly, I know it literally looks like a carbon copy of the Twilight covers, but it's still good. It's entertaining. Not my favorite book in the entire world, but entertaining. This is a vampire fantasy romance. We are set at a school. We are following our protagonist whose parents have just passed away. Only relative she has left is, I believe, the principal for a school. She moves to the school and then starts to realize that there's some kind of underlying weird things going on, aka vampires. It is so addictive. It is so fun. Something about Tracy Wolff's writing, it feels like you can like binge it. The text is also quite big. You can just literally start this and you won't put it down, especially, as I said, if you're a Twilight girly. It gave me the same feeling as when I picked up Twilight for the first time, and I was just like, oh my god, I cannot stop reading this. Let's talk about some thrillers now, because if there's anything that I'm going to read quickly, it's a good, captivating thriller. I feel like we all do. We all are reading and we're all in a bit of a slump, and then we go, you know what's going to get us out of this? A quick little thriller. So here are some recommendations, and I read all of these obviously in under 24 hours. I just couldn't put them down. I needed to know what happened. From page 1, I was hooked and needed to know what happened. The first one is A Good Lie by A.R. Tor. This is a really small, I believe this is only like a 200-page thriller, but it is so fast-paced, it is so gripping. There are so many secrets that all of our characters have that you kind of just want to keep reading because you need to figure out what these secrets are. You can't stop until you know. I literally couldn't put it down. I read it in like one night. It was just so addictive. Really highly recommend if you need a little book to tick off, if you need to feel like accomplished by finishing a book. All of A.R. Tor's works are really, really good, really easy. A lot of like rich people drama, but mixed with a bit of thriller. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I highly recommend their work. Super easy to read and just really, really engaging, and often comment on a lot of social issues as well, which is a nice little change. The Housemaid and the Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. I feel like Frida McFadden is like the queen of thrillers, of easy thrillers that are going to get you super addicted, super into it. And you know, The Housemaid did that. I won't say it was my favorite thriller I've ever read, but it was addictive. I wanted to know if what I had guessed was right. I wanted to know if what plot twists were going to happen. So if this has been on your TBR, just read it. We are following our main protagonist, who is a maid. She just got out of jail and you don't know why. And all you know is that she needs a job. She's literally sleeping in her car. She's so poor. And then she gets offered this job as a live-in maid for a very rich family, wife and husband and a daughter. And as she starts to work for it, she realizes that there is a lot going on in this family that she doesn't realize about. The kid is an absolute brat, and the mum just doesn't seem to recognize that. Things start to kind of unfold, and it takes some insanely dark and twisted plot lines. I didn't see a lot of them coming, I will be honest. On the topic of like popular thrillers, Verity by Colleen Hoover. I feel like we've all read this, but just in case, really, really easy thriller to read, especially if you're going into a book slump. So small, will keep you gripped from page 1. Probably the only Colleen Hoover book I actually liked. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. So Holly Jackson also wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is just a standalone YA thriller. Really, really easy to read. We're basically following multiple protagonists. They're a group of students. I think some are just graduating from high school, some are uni students, they're related, and then friends of friends, all that kind of stuff. I believe there's about 5 of them on an RV trying to get to spring break, and then the RV breaks down in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, and they can't turn it around. It is in a dead-end road. Shit starts going down. It all takes place over one night, so I feel like that's what makes you want to read it so quickly. It's intense, there's some intense plot twists. I highly recommend though. I was captivated the entire time. There are some of the most insane characters I have read about, and it's in a YA thriller. So if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what will. And those are all of the books I finished in less than 24 hours. Some easy bingeable reads. I hope you got a few good recommendations, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you here again on my channel, and I'll say bye for now, but see you soon.